Yo, what's going on, my heroes, my villains, my fellow cow collectors, and everybody else on YouTube? It's your bromie, the Gale, back at it again with a very bullish AMA. Let's do it. Yo, what's happening, my Justice Leaguers? So, I just got out of a very bullish AMA, which I'm very glad that I chose to record because it was one of the best AMAs that I've heard in a minute. Mr. Matt Mason from the Palm NFT Studios hopped into our very chill space that we basically have running 24/7 these days, and he further explained the Bat Cow project to us. You know, if you were on the fence of whether or not it was worth it to buy a Bat Cow, you're definitely going to leave this video knowing the answer to that. And if you don't know what the Bat Cow project is, this is the video for you. So yeah, I mean, if you watch this video all the way through, you're going to come out a smarter NFT investor. But anyway, it's kind of long, so without further ado, let's breeze into
2022. We sat down, we got the Daz 3D team on board who did Clone X, who we think are the best 3D shop in the world. And they built these beautiful cows with us, but we kind of put that to one side. It's like, all right, if you're trying to sell this for $300, you have to think about this is not an NFT. Imagine it's a piece of paper with a name and a membership number on it, and we're going to send it to fans in the mail. Now it's got to be worth $300. What can you give people? And that's why you see the roadmap. You see is we really tried to think about this. It's like this has to be the ultimate fan access pass. Like I don't think the metaverse is like a pink and blue place with low poly mountains and a bunch of people saying they're at a rave. The metaverse is a connected object that works in a game, and it works in Snapchat, and it works over here, and it works over there. And the more you engage with it, the more benefits and value you get from it. That's how we're thinking about this, right? It's like, what's the connective tissue between fan experiences online, IRL? What's that object that you can have that you're just gonna all the emotional value we've always attached to objects? How do we make digital objects where that value is reflected back at the fan? And that's really what we think about. Sorry, I know this was a really long-winded answer, but you know, there's just a lot here that nobody's seen this yet, right? Like, it's so early in the NFT space. Like, if you're comparing it again to the car industry, we're in the horseless buggy phase of the NFT industry. When cars came along, they called them horseless buggies because they couldn't think about a car. They could only think about a buggy with a horse on it. Nobody knows what this is yet, right? It's not a JPEG. It's a whole new way to interact. It's a whole new way to build community. It's so many NFTs are going to be so many things, but DC is so committed with us at Palm to really showing this fan community what's possible. And I got to say, you guys who've come in for the ride today, and Legacy, you, sir, like, I've just been blown away by you and all the support out there, you personally, and everyone, the Veve fam, everyone who's really coming along. It's just like we're going to make history with this thing. And I don't care if there's 100 of us that do it. And like, I can't believe this is my job. That's amazing. Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry, next question.
Oh, yeah, no, that makes me excited to hear that because the way I look at this is going to be like the ultimate collector's pass, and not necessarily like an NFT that you're buying because you hope it appreciates. You're buying it because of the access it's going to give you as a collector, and it sounds like you guys are right on board with that. So, you just made me as bullish as Legacy did.
Yeah, 100%. That's it. Thank you.
Hey, Matt. Hey, man.
Talk about
It's very bullish right now, Matt. It's very, very bullish, man, and super excited to have you in the space. You can see Twitter is blowing up. It's going crazy. And the fact that you're in here with us is massive. I'm going to go to the next question. Hello, Kay, man. What's up?
Hey, cheers. Hey, Matt. Thanks for joining in. I've been following your kind of tweets and stuff today. I saw you address the question around the Veve thing with the Todd McFarlane, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I mean, for me, it's not a big deal, but the Veve community is quite, passionate about, first on the blockchain stuff. So, when the article, I don't think it was by you guys directly, but, like some PR and marketing that was doing the stuff for like Palm said, DC's first NFTs, like, people kind of like went a bit, over the top, like haywire. And it's an ongoing thing, but really great to see you address that and put that out there.
Thank you. Yeah.
No worries. So my question, kind of a general question, is at NFT LA, some people from this community attended because, just to kind of see what was going on with NFTs overall, as well as to kind of see some of the licensed side with DC. And you guys had like Palm had the props from the Batman film, like the Batmobiles, the Batsuits, and all of that stuff, like, which is pretty cool. And we heard that same space was shared with Hero as well, who do the licensed NFT Batman, well, DC hybrid trading cards. And so so quite a question is kind of like, since you guys sort of kind of collaborated a bit on that, a lot of people in this space, they're very, very like speculative, but also like super excited to see if there would be any kind of further collaboration, maybe on the NFT side as well. So some kind of unlockable or some kind of special whitelisting or something that can be kind of interoperable between Hero and Palm. Like I think, because as you can kind of tell, like the little green circles at the top are kind of like the symbol, or the green squares that we gave are like the symbol for Hero. That a lot of the people also follow Hero and are into that, which is kind of like how we got led to the back cowl stuff as well. So I was wondering if you'd speak a bit on that.
Yeah, look, I love the idea. There's definitely a technological blocker at present with that, and that is the underlying change that those two, the Hero is running on and the Palm is running on. So Hero is running on Immutable X, as is Veve, and Palm is running on Palm NFT Studio, and is running on the Palm sidechain, which we helped stand up as a company. I can tell you a little bit about that if it's helpful, like the why of that. So Palm NFT Studio was founded by a guy called Dan Heyman. Dan Heyman he was working at Consensus, which is one of Palm's co-founders. Consensus is the largest pure play blockchain company in the world. They're the owners of MetaMask. They created Infura, which is the largest API that people develop on for Ethereum. They created Truffle, which is the #1 suite of smart contract software in the world. Like all of the building blocks around the NFT space and Ethereum generally, Consensus is the main builder. Dan was general manager of protocols at Consensus. He'd built some of the biggest L2s, Immutable X is an L2 in the world. So JP Morgan runs on L2s that Dan had built. All of DeFi runs on a lot of the L2s that Dan and his team built there. And Dan's team was also the largest contributors to Ethereum 2. Our CTO, Meredith Baxter, is an Ethereum 1 and 2 core dev. And we've got, when you look at our blockchain team versus, a lot of blockchain teams in the NFT space, especially, but just generally, I mean, I think we have one of the best blockchain teams in the world, who are super, super knowledgeable about what's the underlying foundation you need to build for NFTs. The whole reason that Dan left Consensus and the Consensus co-founded Palm with him, and the CEO of Consensus is Joe Lubin, who's also the co-founder of Ethereum, one of the co-founders of Ethereum. The reason that Joe and Dan thought this was a good idea was no one knows what an NFT is yet. Immutable is a super great L2. Polygon is amazing. Another sort of competitor of ours at that level. Incredible suite of tools. Dan's point of view was none of us really know what an NFT is and what you're going to need, and we're going to have to pivot a lot, and we're going to learn so much in a very short space of time. And any of you who've been in this space, it's crazy. Week to week, just things are changing. So he's like, let's start Palm as a side chain that's built specifically for NFTs and build this open source ecosystem. And the more we learn about music and about film and about trading cards and comics and all the things that are going to be using NFTs in this way, the more we can build this open source ecosystem that's got the right tool set for NFTs, as opposed to DeFi, which is, you know, where Immutable started, where Polygon started. I'm not knocking Immutable and Polygon. Like, if you guys, you know me by now. You've seen how I react to people knocking us. As far as I'm concerned, it's all love. I've been in Web3 since BitTorrent for over 10 years. Before Bitcoin, I've been here. I was chief content officer at BitTorrent. I built a distributed ecosystem so content creators could legally distribute content at BitTorrent, because I believe in distributed technology and I know this space very well. And I'm just excited about all of this. I think the future is cross-chain. I'm excited about layer zeros. I'm excited about any kind of option to get things, you know, from Palm onto Immutable, or from Palm onto even other L1s like Flow or Tezos. It doesn't matter, right? As long as it's a good fan experience. My whole thing is, like, I started out as a pirate radio DJ in London, and to me, pirate radio, people don't really know what that is outside of the UK. But like, as a kid, we used to put scaffolding poles on top of tower blocks in London, and with a system like a rig, a setup that costs about $600, city like London, you can reach 10 million people. And to me, that was how I got into distributed technology. Like, I think you should have creativity at the edge. So anytime that I can see a way for a network like Palm, which I'm super invested in, obviously, I do hold bags of Matic. I was also CMO of Kraken. I've been in the crypto game for a while. I've got a lot of different bags. I am in a lot of projects and a lot of chains. Yeah, like, I'd love to see us do something with Hero, but there is definitely, at the moment, I think it's going to be tough to move NFTs off Palm easily, bridge them back to Ethereum, bridge them over to Immutable without paying a ton of gas fees, and without making a really difficult user experience, which I think, you know, it's definitely not our goal at Palm NFT Studio. I know that's not what the Hero team's trying to do. I know that's not what the Veve team's trying to do. I just want to speak on that as well for a second, on the whole Todd McFarlane thing. So, like, I don't know much about Veve and how that all started. Like, I wasn't there. I wasn't buying Todd McFarlane's. You guys were. I respect the hell out of that. But like, the one thing, I want to say something in Veve's defense, because I have heard like a lot of stuff like, oh, you know, it wasn't on the blockchain, so it's not really an NFT or whatever. There's definitely that line of thinking out there. But look, as far as I'm concerned, those NFTs were the first Batman NFTs. The reason that in that first press release on the fandom NFTs, DC Comics said these are the first NFTs from DC Comics, is because Veve did a deal with a company called DC Direct. And, like, you know, it's just sort of a politics thing on that level, right? Like, I respect DC Comics wanting to say that these were their first NFTs. It doesn't mean they were the first Batman NFTs. They have said, and I think whatever they say goes. I don't care if it's on the blockchain or not. Well, I kind of do, but I see why they want to say it. It's like, no, these are the first digital Batman NFT collectibles that we did. It was a Todd McFarlane on Veve. That's all good. But look, the thing I want to say in Veve's defense about people saying, well, you know, it wasn't, where's the data? I can't see it. Like, show me it on Explorer, etc. Blockchain's really difficult. Distributed technology is really difficult. You have to make massive trade-offs to do something in the most distributed way possible, in terms of efficiency, in terms of user experience, in terms of security. And sometimes it's the wrong choice. And look, we're starting from a place, the Palm sidechain is not 100% decentralized. It's less decentralized than Immutable X at this point. We have a roadmap to become an L2 and decentralize over time in the same way. And you best believe we have the team that's going to do it. But we're not there because it didn't make sense to start there, because we need to be more agile and composable. And it's hard to be agile and be decentralized. The reason Ethereum's taken 6 years to upgrade is because it's so bloody decentralized. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, it's the definition of herding cats. Like, if you've got one person in charge, it's easier to move quickly and do things quicker with a big group. And decentralized technology and decentralized communities, things are really difficult. So whenever I see a project like Veve, a platform like Veve, which is amazing and achieved like really an amazing user experience, brilliant platform, very short space of time, super visionary. Of course, they made some trade-offs about decentralization. So I don't care. Those are the first Batman NFTs. Hats off to the Veve team. They did an amazing job. And we'll
Awesome.
work with everybody that it makes sense to work with if it creates a brilliant fan experience.
Nice. Thank you for that, Matt. I think everyone appreciates that. And I do see quite a lot of other hands as well. Just a quick one, Matt. Are you in London as well?
I'm not. I'm in just outside New York, but I'm from London originally.
Ah, nice. Okay, perfect. That's really cool. Okay, that's really great to hear. I'm actually going to be in New York in June at I'm going to be speaking at NFT NYC. So I don't know if you're going to be there.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Let's hang out.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's cool. And if you're ever down in London, we're having like the UK's largest. One of my business partners is hosting the UK's largest DeFi event. So we're going to have our partners, Polygon Studios, the founders of Ecomi are going to be there. Hero team is also going to be coming down. Some other like partners as well. So if you're down in London for that, like definitely give you an invite.
Yeah, ping us on that. Maybe we can get involved or something. If you want to ping me email, it's just matt@palm.io.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I'll drop you a ping, or I'll DM you on Twitter, whichever one is easier. Yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect.
Hey guys, real quick. Anybody who doesn't have a question, if you wouldn't mind stepping down, I got a couple people in line who do want to probably ask questions, and I don't know who put their hand up first, so I'm just going to go from left to right, working my way down. So that would mean Shadow. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Matt?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, man. I love the Cowls. I got 5 in right now.
Oh, God bless you.
And so I had a question, but I had to kind of just change my question because you mentioned something about Action Comics. Any further elaboration on that?
Wait, Action Comics? I don't think I meant to say Action Comics.
Oh, okay.
I said, oh, no, sorry. Okay, that's my accent. I said Archie Comics.
Oh, Archie Comics. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got a project coming up with them where you get to buy a PFP character, and that you get then to write stories with that character, and it will be featured in Archie Comics. If any of your Archie fans, it's worth checking out.
Nice. All right. Well, then my original question was, I am a DC fan, definitely. Now, I will say I'm not the biggest Batman fan, although I do have 5 cows. Is there any chance that we may see a man in a red cape of some sort on Palm's NFT network anytime soon?
Yeah, you already have. So, look, I can't say too much about what's coming next after this project, but what I can say is in October 2021, we did the DC Fandom NFTs. We did Batman, we did Superman, we did Wonder Woman, we did Green Lantern. We did a whole collection of NFTs with a lot of characters across the DC universe. What we're building with DC, nft.dcuniverse.com, this is not a drop site for Cowls. This is a marketplace that's opening. We're opening the doors to the marketplace, so you'll be able to buy and sell fandom NFTs, Cowls, the Batman AMC NFTs we did for the movie back in March. Those are the things we've done first, but this is a marketplace we're building for DC Comics. There's going to be a lot here. The way Palm NFT Studio works, we do like 4 or 5 projects a year at scale. So we set up as a company to help stand up the Palm network and get other people building on Palm. You're seeing other communities build there. So you've got nifties.com that did the Matrix drop, and we worked on with Space Jam with them as well. You've got platforms like Candy Digital, which has all of Major League Baseball. All of that's running on the Palm network. You've got fine art institutions like Pace Gallery, biggest art gallery in the world after Gagosian. Their NFTs are all running on Palm. That's one thing we do. And then the other thing we do as a studio at the sort of commercial level is we'll do 4 or 5 big projects a year, where we'll work with brands with hundreds of millions of users to build things at scale. So what you've seen, what we're building, the Cowls is absolutely the crown jewel in the collections that we're thinking about for DC. And I not financial advice, etc., but the reason I would buy a cowl, the reason I've bought several cowls, is I know how special these are going to be in the Web3 DC Universe Infinite. I know there's lots more coming. This is a marketplace that we're building with them. These things that we're building, like Dan was building blockchain platforms for JP Morgan, and that's the scale he likes to build at. I can't say too much about what else we're doing. Dan's older brother, one of our co-founders, is a guy called David Heyman. He's the third highest grossing film producer in the world. He produced all of the Harry Potter films, all of the Fantastic Beasts films, Quentin Tarantino's last films. David and Dan together have been able to sort of really open a lot of doors with studios like Warner Brothers. You can imagine some of the other big projects we may or may not be working on. We did our first big funding round in December. Microsoft led that round. We're working on a number of projects with them at a really big scale. I'm not saying all of this to you to sort of just big up how big Palm NFT Studio is or how cool we are. I'm just trying to give you a sense of what we might be doing with DC, given the fact that I can't actually tell you anything about that beyond what we've said publicly. But this is not a drop site, what you're seeing here. This is the beginning of something that I've never been more excited about anything I've worked on in my career, and I've done some fun stuff. But this thing is crazy.
Hey, that's amazing to hear. But you mentioned my secret fandom with Harry Potter, so I'll definitely stay tuned.
Okay.
But the next person can go. That was a lot, bro.
Yeah.
All right, I want to go Angelo and then Marlon. Please.
Right. Matt, thanks for coming through. Glad to have you. Thanks to everyone for being here as well. And I have some questions about the Bat Cowl art. You got a lot of sick effects and really cool combinations that can happen. If we're looking, it possibly ends up being a lower mint. Is there part of the algorithm that's written so some of these are guaranteed to be in the mix? Can you speak to any way that that's happening? The second question, is there any like mint number that we're going to be able to see or identify? And
there'll be a number that you'll be able to see. There'll be the mint number on the chain, and there'll be a serial number, slightly different. The serial number is more kind of what you'll see. Well, you'll be able to see them both on the marketplace. But those are slightly different numbers, and they'll mean slightly different things. Your question is great on the, if we go, depending on the size of the mint, what does that do to the rarities? Are there some that are guaranteed to be in there? I actually don't know the answer to that question. I'm going to find out though. And I think that's I don't know, because this doesn't really, the way we set this up working with Daz3D, there's 2 billion possible cows that you could get. And some of I've been looking at renders of these things for months and months and months, and I've seen some amazing cows. Definitely the rarer ones are ones where you've got sort of 3 different colors of textures on them. Those are a bit rarer the way that we tweak the algorithm. They look insane. They look super cool. But we just thought, those should be rarer. And we do want the collection to look not uniform, but we want it to look like Batman. This is something that we worked really hard on with Jim Lee directly. And Jim was like, it was really amazing working with him, because I've been working with him directly, every week, twice a week, reviewing art with him for 4 months, which as a Batman fan, it doesn't really get better than that. And it was amazing to sort of go on this journey with Jim. Like, I'm used to looking at PFP projects, and I'm used to no, you want things to get crazy because that's half the fun. But when we started, Jim was like, no, this is Batman. make everything like blue and gunmetal grey and a little bit of yellow. We're like, look, we can't do 200,000 like that. It's just going to look like just too homogenous. But we sort of, we didn't. There was never any like arguments or anything like that. It's Jim Lee. Don't argue with Jim Lee. But we just sort of we had to say, look, like, this is about, you guys have been so hot on celebrating the diversity of your fans, and that's what's so great about what you can do with a PFP project is you can get so much diversity in here. You can let everybody find how they want to express themselves as Batman, but obviously we've also got to make all of these feel like Batman, even across 2 billion variations potentially. And so that's what we really did. So you'll see, I think more common might have like two sort of colors or textures, and the textures are crazy. I'm like, there's like, I mean, you've seen some of these ones out there today, like candy cane or terracotta marble, like insane textures. There's so many weird things in there, but they all look like Batman. Like, even if you've got a Batman who laughs in the bat cowhide with a terracotta rebreather, it's like, that's still Batman. Also, that one's going to be worth a lot of money, not financial advice, etc. But yeah, no, it's just that's a great question. I don't know. That is the thing I'll be most disappointed about. If we do end up at a lower mint number, it's not we'll have less fans or less money. This is, again, this is the beginning of something, and we're going to treat every one of these fans as the VIPs they are if they're holding a cowl. The thing I'll always be upset about is I want to see all of these cows. I wish we could sell 2 billion, because I just want to scroll. When you see these things at once, it's crazy. Like the Daz 3D team, again, working with the team we've got at Palm. We've got some amazing artists, and Jim Lee. Like, I wasn't doing anything on those calls. I was just sitting there smiling, just grateful I got to be there. So, I hope you guys get to see all the results of all that, as much of that hard work as we can mint.
Thank you. That's an amazing answer. If you don't mind, real quick before you get to the next person, what are some of your favorite effects or textures?
What's some of my favorites? This is a really hard. Now that you say it, I'm like, God, I've seen so many of these.
Yeah, I mean, your PFP is pretty fresh. That one's clean.
That one was nice. That one was today. I mean, that one we made today, in honor of Veve. We just thought, let's just show the love as many ways as we can today. But yeah, that one was pretty nice. The Mr. Freeze one, that was previewed today is super great. All the Batman Who Laughs ones, I just think I just love that mask. And then there are some really special ones that just look like Batman. They are gunmetal grey, like black on black on black, little bit of yellow maybe, that look just clean. I mean, look, I won't tell you how many I bought. I just kept buying them, and my wife's like, "What are you doing? The bank's ringing up. Is this fraud?" I'm like, "No, I'm just user testing." But like, I want as many as I can get. They're so cool looking. Sorry, that was a terrible answer.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so Marlon, and then I think Bill, and then it'll be toss up between DCG and Jackman afterwards.
Hey Matt, thanks for joining in. I sent you the link for the space earlier, and I can't believe that you're here. Thank you for sorting out the issue yesterday regarding the pre-sale with some of the Matrix Avatar holders.
Oh, you're welcome. I apologize for that again. Yeah, it was our bad, but we were able to fix it quickly, so I'm super happy about that.
No, it's okay. We're just all excited to be part of this project, and like I messaged you earlier, I see the Bat Cowl being the key to unifying all these projects, and it should be love for everyone. Most of us here are Veve users and also recently hero users, and that led us to the Bat Cowl, and we're just happy that we're part of this now. Question for me is, you mentioned about Jim Lee earlier. Is it part of the roadmap that having a Bat Cowl will allow us to join an event where we could meet the artist who designed the Bat Cows and also Jim Lee?
That's a great question. I can't speak directly to any of the event stuff yet at all, other than I can say DC's committed to that. So, like, I mean, I'm trying to think, what can I say? What have they said that I can say and leave you guys to connect the dots? They do some of the best fan events in the world and some of the biggest. And they are continually pushing on how can they get creative with that. And they are committed to giving this community the best fan experience possible, no matter how many we mint. And listen, that's because they want to take care of this community and they appreciate that. But selfishly, and this is Palm and DC, well, I can only speak for Palm, but selfishly, we want to show the world what is possible. Like, we want to give this community the ride of their life, because then we show millions of people what you can do with these, and we hopefully push Web3. So everybody is aligned and incentivized to be delivering you guys the absolute best fan experiences possible. That's the thing I can say on that.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Marlon. And Bill, go ahead, Bill.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Matt. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you spending the time.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess I got two questions. The first one is wondering if these things are going to be able to scale big enough to fit around Legacy's head after this. And then
yeah, what's up, Matt? Thanks for doing this, man. This is really cool.
Yeah, thank you, Blake. Pleasure's all mine.
Yeah, I think you cleared a lot of the doubt that was in the air. Yeah, I just have one question. Will the fandom comic NFTs that will be able to be burned for rarer NFTs have their own separate utility that would make someone not want to burn them?
Well, the fandom, you mean the fandom disc NFTs?
Yeah.
Well, they have their own separate utility that makes someone not want to burn them. Can I answer this? I'm trying to think. So, I mean, I think there's the interesting thing about, well, not the interesting. One of the interesting things about NFTs is, you never really have to definitively answer that question, and that's my way of never definitively answering your question. But you don't. The point I'm trying to make is we've got a plan for Overdrive and the fandom NFTs, and what you're going to be able to do, burning them, all the other crazy things you're going to be able to do, burning them, if you also happen to have a cowl. But that's what we're thinking about now. But could they have more utility down the line? Yeah, of course they could, because we don't have to build that now. We can build that in 5 years' time. And there's something special. There's something special. Do not get it twisted. The cream of the crop community, the most elevated community in the DC UI experience that we're building, is going to be the cow holders. But a bunch of people showed up for fandom. That was one of the largest, if not the largest, NFT drop in history. We can't reveal the numbers. DC asked us not to. We can say it was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands. People showed up, got those NFTs, and then they didn't know what to do with them for a while, because we were working on our roadmap and we were trying to figure things out. And it was, it's hard, I think, when you're working with IPs at the scale of DC. There's more complexity, right, than if it's a PFP project with 5 people. You got a lot more going on, a lot more going into the mix. So we couldn't say a lot about fandom, or we couldn't roll things out as quickly as we wanted to. And we were also hatching the plan for Cowls. But those users who got those fandom NFTs, they're always going to have a special place in my heart. Those were our first NFTs with DC Comics. I'm not going to say they were the first NFTs with DC Comics. I know I'm in the wrong room for that. But they
Matt,
were,
I'd like to maybe expand on that and ask. So those will not be available in any other way unless you buy them secondary market, correct?
That's correct. That's
okay,
correct.
great.
And there's going to be a lot. I think like that. You know, when I say most NFTs will be free, it's something that we think about a lot with a lot of the big brands we work with. Is that's the way, and this I guess gets to Gail's point. Like, can I rent an NFT? Well, maybe instead, you could. Maybe we could do that. But if we give you an NFT and it does something cool, well, now you understand what NFTs are about. And that was definitely something we wanted to do with Fandom. It's something we did with Space Jam. It's something that we're working on with a lot of the platforms we're building. Is let's build this platform and then let's start by giving away 3 million free NFTs just to show this audience what they are. That we're doing that on a number of fronts in music, in gaming, because that's like you can't. The weird thing about NFTs is you can't explain to someone what it feels like to get your first NFT. You just got to go and get it. And then you're like, oh no, this is mine. And it feels like it's mine just like as if I bought a pair of sneakers. But it's a JPEG or it's a GIF or whatever it is. And until you actually have that experience yourself, you don't know what it feels like. You can't, a lot of people just don't get it. So I think it's going to be super important to keep doing that and making cool NFTs that are free, that have utility, but then also keep surprising those people. There'll always be, I can't say exactly what's going to come, if anything's going to come past kind of overdrive for Fandom 2021 NFTs. I can say Fandom 2022 is coming up. And I can say that just personally, as long as I'm in the room, I am always going to be thinking, oh, can we do something for Fandom 2021 holders? Because you know what? They were there early. They weren't there Todd McFarlane early, but they were early.
Thank you for that, Matt.
Yeah,
I just want to quickly acknowledge Mikey and Ellis down at the bottom. They got blue check marks. I think they might be press, possibly, maybe. Who was next? Anybody know? Was it Wes or was it Counselor?
It was it's down there at the bottom. Mahfouz, he's been waiting for a while.
Hello. I had a quick question to ask. Will the DC Batcall be collaborating with the official Batman social medias and Warner Bros, like the official accounts?
Yeah, they the Batman account tweeted today. It was retweeted by DC Comics. You're going to see that happening over the mint period. Warner Brothers too. I think HBO Max and Turner tweeted about Cowls today, and this was day one, right? This was day one of the general sale. DC's hot on this. They're definitely dropping the hammer, pushing this wherever they can. And I think a lot of fans are seeing this and it's the first time they thought about an NFT. Much less seen an NFT with such an ambitious journey behind it and such a complex story. So we want to hit them all a number of times and really show, look, this is an access pass. This is a journey. This is an elevated fan experience. You may have heard that NFTs are, $69 million JPEGs. That's not what we're doing here, but no one's ever seen anything like this. So yeah, we're gonna be hitting people for sure.
That's amazing. I also wanted to say a big thank you for giving the NFTs community some free airdrops for the backcall. I won one.
Yeah.
So I'm now addicted to the backcalls as well as the airdrops.
Oh, well, listen, I can't. I've been working with Nifties.com, launched on the same day as the Palm Network. Jeff Marsilio, Jordan Lyle, Shannon Kelly, that entire team. They're some of my favorite people in the world. They're some of the smartest people working in Web3. They're so awesome. They got so much heart. They got so much passion. They're so smart. And we speak to Shannon and I at least once a week doing hour-long Zoom call, just what's up. And we love those guys. We work on projects with them. But like we also, and this is true of a lot of teams in Web3, we're all like this. It's like we all work together, but we also like compete in a very friendly way. Like when I saw the Matrix, when they showed me that, I was like, oh my god! Like the game changed. This is game changing. This is an industry defining moment. And what they were able to do with it, I was blown away. And just yeah, like we compare notes with them a lot. We're super tight with them. We invested in Nifties. They invested in Palm. Like it's family. They're amazing. So yeah, always going to be doing all we can for them.
That's cool. I also photoshopped a backcore with some snake skin, and I put my avatar in it. It's in my profile
Nice,
picture.
awesome.
Yeah, it looks
All
great, Mop. Very nice.
Hey,
Thank you.
can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey man, I just I was down there and listening to you, Matt. I know we're a lot bigger now, but I had to jump back up, man, and say that it means quite a lot to me, especially someone who is a huge fan of NFTs and a huge DC fan and a huge Veve fan. I am a moderator on the Veve Discord. To hear you, a guy who's over a totally different project, who also love DC fandom, come up here and defend Veve. And basically, what you were saying, man, I just had to come back up here and just say that I appreciate that. I think that NFT projects in a whole, like once we get over this, like we're over here and you're over there, like we're all fandom, like we're all fans at the end of the day. And I just think that what you said, man, that was I just really like that a lot, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. It's so like it's a cliche to say it, but it's just so early, and like this industry's so small. It's what, 1 million wallets? Actually, people could always say it's 1 million wallets. We've got 1 million wallets on the Palm network, so it's more than that now. But it's just like, I don't know, maybe it's because I've been working for 20 years and I've been working in distributed technology a long time. It's like the arguments I hear people having now about blockchain, it's like 20 years ago saying, which search engine's going to win? Is it going to be Lycos or Excite or Ask Jeeves? It's going to be one of them. It's like nobody knows shit. And guess what? We're all going to be, some of these things are going to crash and burn and some of them are going to do really well. But I'll see you at the next place if it's not this place. And look, I hope Pano NFT Studio works out and I hope Veve works out. But it's early. We haven't found product market fit yet. None of us, nobody in the space. And I've seen so many confident ecosystems and platforms and projects just, actually it didn't go the way that it never goes the way you think it's going to go. And really, we've all got we have to work together as an industry if we're going to convince the world that NFTs are worth a damn. Because that's a hard thing to convince a lot of people of. Like if you go and look anywhere, any project that touches a mainstream audience, the FUD that you always get, like the environmental stuff, Palm has a rotating proof of authority consensus mechanism. It is 99.99999999% more efficient than mining on mainnet Ethereum. The independent studies that Microsoft, that the Linux Foundation, the Patch.io have done on Palm, it's like this. They're like, whatever, it's zero. You're carbon neutral. We don't say that because we think it's 99.999, etc. There is a little bit of energy usage. Microsoft's like, no, whatever. It's basically zero. If I go and say that to someone on social media who heard that NFTs are bad for the environment, they're just going to think NFTs are worse for the environment. Like I might as well be selling them cigarettes or snake oil. I'm just like a paid shill. So, and everybody in every community, and I don't know, look, I'm sympathetic to that. You look at where the world is, you look at the way inequality is, and you see a bunch of crypto bros flipping pictures of monkeys and becoming millionaires. It doesn't look great. It's not a great look, right? And love the Bored Ape community. you know, it's all love for everyone, but we've all got to work together. Like, there's no point in fighting. There's no point tearing down other projects. The only projects I think are worth criticizing are projects that are not taking care of their fans, or they're rugging people, or it's a scam. Like, yeah, we got to call that stuff out. But look, I know Veve's not that, right? Like, I see what Veve's doing. I see who Veve is. It's really the community. It's you guys I see. Like, when we did Fandom, you guys were so mad at Palm. Like, all of our, oh my God, like, what do we do? We had no idea, because because the press release went out saying these are the first DC Comics NFTs. We didn't mean to do that. We didn't realize how much that would, offend people. And it's like, oh my God. And so we there wasn't much we could do though, right? We were giving away free NFTs, and it wasn't really our battle to fight at that point on the Palm side. But with this project, when I see so many Veve fans coming into the Cowls community and buying a cowl, I was just like, you guys are great. Like, you guys are awesome. And then when I see the CEO of that guy, he was like having a pop at the price and the size. Fair enough. Totally fine to have a pop at us. I love a bit of banter. It's all good. I don't know that guy. I've never spoken to any of the sort of management team or the founders or CEOs or any of those people at Veve, but I respect the hell out of what they built. You can have a pop at our mint size. Yes, it's crazy. That was a crazy ambitious thing. That was the point. But it's totally fine to have a pop at us. But this community, you guys just showed us nothing but love. And it was just, there was just this one thing with, like, was this Batman NFT the first one? I made a point of going to Warner Brothers today and say, look, can we address this? And Josh's like, no, look, I've already addressed it in Discord. Absolutely. Like, it's totally fine. No one's hung up on that. Just go and say it. So we did. But you guys, like, you're an amazing community, and you like NFTs, and you like DC, and you seem like you're like Cowls, and that's exactly who we want along for the ride here. So, that's it. I'm Red Circle Gang as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, man,
I was just gonna say, Shadow, thank you for asking that, and Matt, thank you for answering. We really do appreciate that, because we have a lot of people in multiple communities, and I agree that there's no reason to FUD, as it were.
Yeah.
Thank you. I want to get to Counselor. I think he might have been next, and then Wes.
Just a quick question for Matt. Matt, first of all, thank you for taking this like a champ. Thank you for your communication and your open info about the BB fam. Welcome to the BB fam, first of all. And well, my question is that we know that one of the big problems of Web3 is the bots, or at least knowing if the NFTs ends up in human hands. So is there any measure that Palm is using to attack the bots, or determine that the wallets are from human hands? Because the market manipulation for bots, it's amazing. And it's one of the hard lines that BB, or tough times that BB was fighting for. But do we know that Palm is using like a countermeasure to attack bots? That's my question.
Yeah, we absolutely are. I'm not going to talk about all of the things we're doing and exactly what we're doing, because that's definitely stuff we want to keep sort of private. But yeah, look, we see bot armies mobilize. We've seen them do that a number of times, especially on DC stuff since Fandom. And we did a lot of stuff, especially around Fandom. There was a big sort of bot, like we saw this big like bot network sort of standing up out there trying to get in, and the measures we took kept them out. We've got a really again a really sick team in terms of blockchain and security. I used to be CMO at a crypto exchange called Kraken, which is the most secure crypto exchange in the world. It's been around since the Mt. Gox attack. It was born out of the fires of the Mt. Gox attack in 2011, for those that remember that. And has never ever been hacked. I think Kraken is the top 4 or 5 exchange in the world now. super secure. And I'm just sort of, for me, that was like a baptism of fire in terms of security. And the things I learned there, like still to this day, even my Netflix password at home is like 100 hash thing I change every month. Like I'm just so paranoid because we were just brainwashed to be like that at Kraken. And so one of the other first people I really wanted to hire, that we did hire, was an incredible woman named Connie Wong, who's our head of design. She was the head of product design at Kraken. And the reason I wanted to bring Connie in, and the reason that we've really got a really strong security team, is because if you look at NFTs and where they are, and all these new users they're bringing into crypto, everyone's just getting started here, right? Everyone's new. Everyone's just got their MetaMask wallet or their Veve account or their Cowls account. They just got started. They don't know what social engineering is. They've never been phished before. Crypto scammers have been doing this for over a decade. They've been doing press ups for a decade, ready to knock you out. If you've just come into OpenSea and bought your first ape, they're going to get you. And this is going to be a bigger problem. Like we see at Discord, such a terrible, such a crazy attack vector. Twitter as well. Like every post, hundreds of MetaMask bots. Like, how can I help? I've got friends in crypto who've been in crypto for a long time on NFT projects, who just got caught on the wrong day and had $500,000 of apes taken out of their wallet by someone because they just got sloppy. Like this stuff's going to keep happening, and we've got to be super tight about bots, about security, about keeping people safe. Educating on social engineering, sim swapping. All this stuff is real. Like there's a lot of FUD in NFTs about things that are not real. This is real. So yeah, we take it super seriously. Thanks for raising that.
Thank you, Matt, for your answer. And well, we're just about to open a Spanish space. I don't know if you got a message for the Spanish space, and thank you for your answer. And you're welcome to join us if you want to every Wednesdays. Just DM me, and the doors are always going to be open for you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for coming up, counselor. We appreciate that, man.
Appreciate it.
Wes, you're on.
Hey, Matt, thanks for coming up here and speaking, man. I think you're providing so much information, valuable information for everyone, so we appreciate it. Yeah, man, you're making me super bullish on the Cowls. I just had to buy a second one, just so you know.
Thank you.
Just a question with the Cowls. Do you think possibly, like, just take, for example, DesignerCon, in 2022 coming up in Anaheim, do you think there's possibility these Cowls can give us possibly like some sort of VIP access or something along those lines?
For that specific event or just generally?
Well, I'm more specific to that event because I'll probably go to it. But if you can't speak on specificities, maybe just in general.
Yeah, look, on that event, I didn't even catch the name of the event exactly. I can't say whether we will or not on anything, but I didn't really even know what it was, so that should help you. But yeah, no, look, in general, yeah, these are access passes. These will get you into all kinds of things online, IRL, that DC is planning. I think the focus will be on it will be things that DC is planning. There's definitely going to be times when I'm sure we'll be able to link up with other communities, other events, and your cowl will get you in, or your cowl will get you access to something. That stuff we're thinking about all the time, and we're super close, obviously, with a lot of other really cool communities in Web3. And this is actually something I was thinking on right before I jumped on here. Was working on a few different ways to link up with a few other communities. But yeah, look, generally, yeah, that's it. That's the game, right? This is going to be an amazing VIP fan experience. Like these cows will be keys. They will unlock doors for you that other people can't walk through. That's the whole idea. That's absolutely the heart of what we want these cows to be as a fan experience.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, you just brought up security a second ago, so I was going to ask, you know, with the marketplace opening up, and now you got the Cowls that are dropping, you know, people are going to start dumping some significant money into this platform. Are we going to see 2FA anytime soon on the DC Universe site?
I don't know if I'm revealing too much. Look, all I can say is, knowing Connie the way I know her, yeah, absolutely. She won't have it any other way. But yeah, we haven't. Those are things that are sort of, you know, the less we say about security while we're building, I think the better. But generally, like, yeah, 2FA is something you want to see on any platform where you've got significant money or significant you know, trust or information in that. You should 2FA everything you can, as far as I'm concerned.
Cool. And then I just had one fun question for you. Have you guys, or as a team, have you guys had a Zoom meeting at all where you're all wearing your bat cowls?
Oh my God. I mean, I think every Zoom meeting I've done since the Snap Lens, since I had the first like prototype Snap Lens, people are like, okay, take that thing off. Like, can we actually have a conversation? Yeah. I love that thing. It's so much. Zoom, Teams, Hangouts. I've been wearing it everywhere I can.
How do you exactly upload that cowl into the video chat rooms across all the apps?
So if you download something called Snap Camera, which is a desktop app that Snap makes, you can just access all of their filters, not just like every single filter that's available in Snapchat. And then if you go into Zoom, or you're in Microsoft Teams or Hangouts, just go into your camera settings and change your camera from whatever your default camera is to Snap Camera. And then when you turn on Snap Camera and you start messing around with the filters, they just appear in Zoom call. Super fun, super easy little hack. It's
awesome.
Really funny.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Cool.
And that's the video, my friends. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you learned something or enjoyed the content, feel free to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing for more hero and bat cowl content like this. So I'm kind of upset. I didn't realize once I became a speaker that it wouldn't record the audio. So I became a speaker twice, and as long as I was a speaker, nothing was being recorded. So kind of upset about that, because there was a lot of good things being said during those periods of time, but I guess you had to be there. So make sure you join the spaces more often, because we have awesome discussions like this on the daily, and you never know who's going to pop in. It might be the hero team, it might be the bat cowl team, you never know. But anyway, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say ever is financial advice, because I am learning just like you guys. And yeah, I'm just your friendly neighborhood genius. Sharing his thoughts and opinions on this awesome idea known as bat cowls. So take everything that you hear from me with a grain of salt, because things could change. And with that, yeah, I mean, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Until then, peace out and huddle strong, my friends, and remember that not all heroes wear capes. Later.